guys, I'm adding 5 cans of green beans to this greased baking dish. And as you can see in the middle, I have 2/3 cup of brown sugar. I'm gonna add half a stick of butter to that. Next, I'm gonna add some soy sauce. I'm gonna do about 7 tablespoons. I'm not gonna measure it. I think that's good. That's probably more than I needed. I'll give that a quick mix. All right, I'm just gonna spread these out a little bit. I'm gonna pour this right over the top. All right, don't worry if there are chunks of brown sugar in there, it'll melt while it's cooking. Next, I have some bacon right here. I did not cook it all the way through because the rest of it will cook while it's in the oven. I'm just gonna rip that up and throw it in there. If you could tell by now, I'm making this awesome green bean side dish. It is a lot of green beans, but this goes good to bring over to a barbecue, friend's house for dinner. Kind of got that sweet and savory taste to it. And bacon goes good with anything. It's the only way I eat my vegetables if they're cooked with bacon. I like big chunks of bacon. You could cut them up smaller if you want, whatever you want to do. I'm not a big fan of vegetables as it is, so if you get a big meaty chunk of bacon in it, it's just gonna make it all better. All right, well, now my hands are really greasy, so I'm actually gonna have my friend Chris come in. Can you put some garlic powder in there for me?
Oh, yes, sir.
You can do as much or as little as you want. I really like garlic. And then black pepper. And lastly, I'm gonna add a bag of French fried onions. So it's kind of like a green bean casserole. Just gonna add just pour the whole bag on top. Thank you, sir. Appreciate your help. Just gonna spread that over with the top. Now I'm gonna take this, bake it on 350 for about 20 to 30 minutes. All right, guys. I took those out of the oven a little while ago, let them cool. This is our green bean side dish. We have our green beans, our crispy bacon, our fried onion straws, our soy sauce mixture with the brown sugar. These smell incredible. And again, even for me who doesn't like vegetables, anything with bacon and fried onions is gonna be good. How good that looks. All right, guys, I have these Hawaiian King savory butter rolls. Doing this hack I saw online, just kind of kick these up a notch. So you could separate them if you want, but I'm gonna do that in a minute. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna cut, not all the way through, but just little slits down them. One on each side. Very important not to cut all the way through. You'll see why in a second. Right, now we're gonna do the other side. The other side of this one. I absolutely love these by themselves or even with butter, but I saw this and I just had to try it. So who doesn't love bread and butter? That was one of my favorite things as a kid. Okay, so now that you've made slits in them, I'm gonna kind of break them apart a bit. Okay. Awesome. Now what I'm gonna do is take this Colby and Monterey Jack cheese. I actually bought this from Walmart. It was already sliced, so it saves me a ton of work. And what you're gonna do is take some of these. I like to break it in half, and you're gonna put a slice of cheese in each little slit that you cut in the bread. Gonna do it like that. These are actually kind of thick slices too, so though it might not look like a lot of cheese, it's gonna be perfect. You're gonna get some in every bite. All right, I'm not gonna make you guys watch me do all of these. All right, now we're gonna do some bacon. I cooked this beforehand, cooled it off a little bit. It's better to cook it before, just so these don't take as long. And now you're gonna take one piece of bacon and you're gonna throw it next to each piece of cheese. These looked absolutely awesome when I saw them on the internet. Like I said, it's just a quick little hack just to kind of give these a little bit more flavor to them. All right, now I'm gonna take some melted butter. I did about half a stick, and I'm gonna take some ranch seasoning. You're not gonna use a whole packet, but you are gonna put, I don't know, I'd say about a tablespoon in here. You're gonna mix this up a little bit. Perfect. Now you're gonna take this and just brush each one with some butter and ranch. Sure you're getting little crevices. I'm telling you guys, these are gonna be amazing. How could they not be amazing? Now what you're gonna do is just take these, put them in the oven, I'd say for about 10 minutes, 10, 15 minutes on 350. Get them a little bit crunchy and melt that cheese a little bit. All right guys, these are Hawaiian sweet rolls. I just took them out of the oven a little while ago. See the cheese. All right guys, I have 30 ounces of corn that I'm using here. You could use frozen or out of the can, whichever you prefer. Now I have 1/4 of a cup of heavy whipping cream. Add that in there. I'm gonna do about a cup of shredded cheddar cheese. I'm gonna do a little bit more if you want. I'm doing this awesome corn side dish. You could pair this with anything, whether you're grilling something, chicken, steak, whatever. Next, I'm gonna add 1/4 of a cup of butter. I'm gonna put that on the side, and I'm gonna add a brick of cream cheese. Drop that in there. Perfect. Now for some spices. I'm gonna do a little bit of salt. A little bit of black pepper. Feel free to add anything else if you guys want to as well. Now the last step I'm gonna do is a little bit of fresh green onion. Perfect. Now what you're gonna do is you're gonna cover this and cook it on low for 3.5 hours. All right guys, our corn is all done. Now I just have to give everything a good mix. Oh, this looks so good. Everything mixes together very easily. Like I said, this is a great side dish. You could really serve this with anything or just eat it by itself. Smells absolutely amazing. It's kind of like a version of cream corn, but my version. All right. Now I'm gonna take some of this. Got a nice serving bowl. Good. This, move it to the side. Put some garnish on that. And do it, some nice cilantro. All right guys, I'm starting out with 2 large eggs. Now I'm gonna do a can of cream of celery soup. Now 1 cup of mayonnaise. that in there. Perfect. Now I'm gonna do a little bit of garlic powder. You could kind of do whatever kind of spices you want. This only calls for minced onion, but do some minced onion, garlic powder, because I feel like garlic goes good with anything. And some onion powder. Perfect. Now I'm gonna do a little bit of cheese. Save some cheese for the top of this too, so just a small handful will be good. I'm gonna give this all a good mix. Awesome side dish, dinner. You could add chicken in this if you want, or just serve it with something. Get that, a little bit of a mix. You could also use cream of broccoli soup or broccoli cheddar soup. I couldn't find any. The recipe actually does call for cream of celery. I don't know why it doesn't call for broccoli, but who knows? I didn't make the recipe. I just found it interesting and I'm excited to try it. So now I'm gonna I have 2 bags of the steamed broccoli florets. I didn't cook them all the way in the microwave. You could do fresh broccoli too. Set a harsh way. Now you're gonna just coat the broccoli with this mixture. It's kind of like a broccoli side dish casserole. I love broccoli and cheese soup. It's one of my favorites. So when I saw this one, I was kind of excited to try it because it's almost kind of a take on that. I don't know where the celery soup is gonna play a role, but I don't think you're gonna really taste a strong celery flavor to it. All right, that looks pretty good. So now I'm gonna take a baking dish and I'm just gonna add the contents of the broccoli mixture in here. Make sure you get it all out. Perfect. That looks great. I'm just gonna kind of spread that out a little bit. I feel this could be really good, guys. The recipe only called for a 16-ounce bag. I used 2 10-ounce bags, so there's a little bit more broccoli in here than there should be, but more vegetables won't hurt. So now I'm gonna take this, set this aside. I have a little bit of melted butter here and some Cheez-Its. Take these Cheez-Its, give them a good crunch. I feel like this is really, really gonna make this broccoli side dish really, really awesome. And I'm just gonna take these, pour them in here. And grab my trusty fork. I learned from my friend Kristen. I'll give these a good mix. Coat it with all the butter. Some whole Cheez-Its in there, but that's fine. All right. And I'm gonna take this, bring this back, and time to use the best kitchen tool, your hands. Take this and crumble it on top. Am I weird? The Cheez-Its and butter almost sounds like it would just taste good by itself, but I'm not gonna eat that because that's kind of gross. All right, awesome. Now we're gonna take this, put it in the oven on 350 for about 40 to 45 minutes. All right, guys, I just took this out of the oven a little while ago. This is our broccoli side dish with the cream of celery, the Cheez-Its and butter, the broccoli. So I'm gonna go ahead and serve myself some. This actually looks really, really good. Kind of excited about this. But I'm also really hungry, so. I like how it still kept a crunch from the Cheez-Its on top. It's really good.
And I'm glad I didn't use smaller broccoli. I don't know.